Alright, time to edit today's video for my YouTube channel. Oh god, the entire thing. Is the entire thing out of focus like this?
Lovely.
Alright, I'm just going to have to go and refilm it, I think. That's going to take so bloody long. Let's go through the footage and see what I can do.
Now, first things first, guys, I'm as dubious as you probably are about having my laptop and my microphone in frame.
Although that is the main reason why we can barely see your face.
Anyway, I wanted to do something a bit different today and just hang out with you guys and have a chat, which I haven't done in a while. So I got myself a cup of tea, set my microphone up in a weird place, and thought we'd just hang out. And considering that I talk about languages so much, I actually realised that I very rarely talked about the language schools that I've been to. And so I thought it might be quite fun to talk about the different schools and what makes them good, what makes them bad.
Alright, Past Tom, I'm going to edit your video, okay? Because you seem really excited to talk about it. But this is the last time, okay?
So, language schools. The first ever language school that I went to was the Goethe Institute in Hamburg. I think to this day, it set a really high bar, which ever since I've been trying to, it spoiled me, really. The teaching was excellent, the location was really good, and the real thing that made it stand out for me was the social stuff, because almost every single day after school, there would be some sort of event to get everybody together, go and see a museum, go for a tour of the city or something like that. And if I remember correctly, that school was like the third floor of a library or something. Because basically, if you want to run a language school, you basically need a physical space to put people in and some teachers. And that is basically it. I've been to a language school that was basically in an office block. I've been to many that were just converted flats, and quite a few that were purpose-built, very high spec, mini schools, really. But I think the ones that I do prefer, the ones that I like the most are the converted flats, because it makes them feel very homely, very friendly. Whenever I've gone to a language school, I've always been there for at least 1 month. So having a network that feels like a proper network, that feels like when you land in the country, you've got like a family around you, I think is really important. So a small school in a little converted flat with really lovely, friendly teachers is the perfect thing that you want to be aiming for. I think it's more about family feel, because I've been to really big schools that also have that feel. The school I went to in Recanati, Dante Alighieri, that definitely felt like one really big family, even though there were 200 people there. Italian tea it's just not quite the same as English tea. Even though the box says English breakfast, it's just not quite right. I still need some flown in. Anyway, so I think the best teachers, the ones that I've liked the most, have really focused on group exercises, really focused on discussion and getting everybody involved in the conversation. I don't think, when schools advertise that they have really small class sizes, it's a good thing. Actually, if the teacher is really good, then it doesn't really matter how big the class size is, because when you talk about small class sizes, what you actually mean is, are there few enough people that I get a lot of attention, I get a lot of time to speak, all of that. But if you've got a big class, but the teacher is really attentive or spends a lot of time putting people into smaller groups where you can and you have to speak, then I think a bigger class can be just as effective. Something that you do not want is when it's just the teacher speaking. That is the worst thing, because you just don't learn. If they're standing at the front and they're talking about all these conjugations, they might be explaining it really, really well. But if you're not doing it, if you're not speaking it, if you're not using it, then it's almost pointless. And I think if a language school has done its job really well, then by the time you've finished your first month or your first 2 months, you have a decent command of what's going on and the basics of the language. But almost more importantly, you really know how that town and how that country functions, and you have a nice group of people who you can continue exploring it with. But obviously, this thing has a price attached to it, right? You can't just go to a language school for free. Unfortunately, that would be very good. One of the reasons why I genuinely love language schools is that if it gives you all of that, if it gives you the social side and the educational side, and if it gives you that, then it really can be worth its weight in gold, really, to me. Especially when you're just starting out, when you're A1, A2 level, you have this incredible feeling of making progress every single day. So in fact, I think if you're looking at a language school and the reviews don't say, "This changed my life," then don't go, because a good language school should really change your life. Basically, there's a huge difference between a school that acts as a landing pad, that acts as a base to your exploration of the city, and a school that just teaches you from 9 until 1 and then sends you out the door. And one of them is worth your money and your time, and the other one isn't. So yeah, there you go. I've a cup of tea and a discussion about language schools. I'm really interested in what you guys have to say, actually. I know that a lot of you guys have been to language schools in the past, and I don't know, are the sort of things that I'm talking about, are they like as important to you as they are to me? All of that sort of stuff. What about language school as a base to explore a country, or is it more important just to get in and learn and get out? But yeah, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think the perfect language school is like, and we'll get a bit of a discussion going down there in the comments. For now, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, do remember to join that conversation. Remember to subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you next time. Cheers.
And finished. God, I'm glad that's over. I feel like I've been looking through reading glasses for the last 4 hours. Thank God there's not any more footage to do.
This is going to be an edit job, isn't it?
You cheeky bastard!